Aeration in fish farming is very important, and every fish farmer must know this, and if possible implement aeration system in his or her farm. This video we shall look at what aeration is, the methods of aeration systems. We shall look at the advantages and disadvantages and why there's a need for aeration system, and more importantly, how to mitigate or to address the challenges of the limitations. This video is going to be a long video, but it's worth it. So please keep watching and please subscribe to the channel. Now, aeration is the addition of oxygen into your fish farm in order to maintain and optimize the efficient oxygen level in your farm. In this case, you add oxygen into the fish pond to supplement the natural oxygen in your farm. This is necessary because as the fish release metabolism, or when the fish release feces into the fish pond, and also the leftover feed, anytime you are feeding them, it is not all the feed that they consume, and even sometimes after consuming the feed, they vomit it back into the fish pond. All this contributes to the reduction of the oxygen level in your pond. For that matter, if there's no a system in place to add more oxygen and replace the lost ones, it's going to deplete the oxygen, which will enhance the standard growth of your fish and even possibly leads to mortality. But when you add oxygen, it supplements the natural one, and also it replaces the lost ones, and that ensures that your fish are healthy. That is why it is important to have aeration system in your farm. Now, I'm going to talk about three methods of aeration system. First is the natural aeration, and the natural aeration has to do with the natural phenomenon that adds oxygen to your fish farm. When you go into the natural bodies, as the water is falling, or as the water is going, or with the waves are running, all these adds oxygen into the fish in the natural system, and that's the natural way. Also, the aquatic organism or the aquatic plants in your farm, those aquatic plants, we all know that byproducts of photosynthesis is oxygen. So during photosynthesis, these aquatic plants also add oxygen into the pond, even though this is limited to only daytime. By those using the earthen pond system can plant plants or aquatic plants in the farm. Even fish ponds, people do that to add oxygen there. That's the natural system. Another method of adding oxygen to your pond is the chemical method. There are chemicals, we have commercial ones, where they are introduced into the fish pond. When you realize that the oxygen level of your fish is depleted, such chemicals are added into the fish pond, and therefore increasing the oxygen level in the pond. Now, the last and most important method we are going to talk about again, that is the third one, mechanical aeration system. And that mechanical aeration system, it is a situation where fish farmers use pumps, PVC pipes, and other materials available to create a system which has oxygen in the pond. And in this system, the pumps agitate the water, introducing what we call bubbles. And you can see the bubbles running on the surface of the pond, as you can see. So such bubbles is the addition of oxygen. This system also makes the water not stuck. As you can see, the pump is pushing the water, so we're moving around. So the movement of the water alone is addition of oxygen, and the release of the bubbles is also addition of oxygen. As you can see, the air tube pulls the air, the oxygen, from outside and push it back, which forms the bubbles, and that makes it to be running. That's why you need to always check it, because if it is not running properly, that means that you will not find these bubbles, and that means that the oxygen level is not being increased. So this system is our priority here, because that's what we are running, and that's what most fish farmers are running. Yes. So in this system, you connect your submersible pumps. It might not be submersible pump, but with our system, we are using submersible pump to source of electricity, and that brings us to the disadvantages of aerating system. The aerating system, if you're using the mechanical one while you're using the pumps, you need a source of electricity. So such source of electricity is a cost. So therefore, we can say that high cost of installment is one. Purchasing your equipment, your pumps, your PVC pipes, and all this comes at a cost. So if you're not financially sustainable, it is very difficult to get this. That is first thing, high cost. And then second thing is running the system through electricity. It's also another cost, because if you are using the national grid, you pay electricity bill. And this system has to also be consistent. So in a situation where there's light out or power off, you will not have the system running. That's another disadvantage. If you're not using the electricity from the national grid, another source is you can use solar to power your farm, which is very important and very sustainable, because the initial setup is costly, but once you set it running, you are good to go. You don't have to pay any bill. You don't have to, once there's enough sun to store your batteries, you don't have to run out of power. And that is the system we are using in our farm, as you can see, and it is helping us a lot. Ever since we installed this, we never have any issue with natural grid. So the initial cost is higher, but when you sacrifice and set this up, you are good to go. Another disadvantage is that such system requires expertise. It's a special skills. So if you are going to run this system, you need to learn, have the expertise, learn how to operate those pumps, how to keep it maintained, because improper maintenance can run the pumps down, and that's another disadvantage. Most of the times, or sometimes, your pumps and your system may run down. Either you need to replace or to repair them. So have that in mind. Yes. Another issue has to do with environmentalists complain about noise, especially if you're not using the submersible pump and you're using pumps that produce sound. That noise, they say, is an environmental issues. Also, if you're using generators, you release fossil fuel, which also release into the atmosphere and also have environmental issues. But you can mitigate all these challenges by having solar or renewable power, like I said, or you can connect to a national grid. You don't have problem with environmentalists. Use submersible pumps or pumps that do not make noise, and you are good to go. And to mitigate another issues, make sure that you keep proper maintenance of your aeration system. Make sure you always keep your pumps clean. Check it out. If there are debris, remove them, wash them. Keeping them clean all the time will ensure durability of your system. If you come in the morning, check it, make sure it is running. If you use a submersible pump, like we are doing, submersible pumps are best work in water. So it must fully submerge in the water. So if you submerge in the water and you only leave it exposed or part exposed and you are running it, the pump can break down. So make sure that always fill the water to the maximum level. That fills up the pump and will not expose it. And that means you can have your pumps run for longer period. To also avoid the breakdowns of the pump, make sure that your source of power is sustainable. If there's power outbreak or you have high low power, high low current, that also affects your pump. We have had two of our aerator pumps spoiled just because of inconsistent power. When we started up our solar system, high low current spoiled that. But after we had it consistently, we have experienced that again. So make sure you have some consistent power. Yes. So please, it is very important. And you may be asking or wondering, where can I get these pumps, solar panels, and the rest? I will leave a link in the description to check that one out and then check them and get a further one for yourself. So now, if this system is functioning properly, what are the advantages? First and foremost, it enhances the growth of your fish. Why? Because as it increases the oxygen level of your fish pond, your fish are healthy and it relieves them from stress. And once they are healthy, they grow. Another advantage is that it increases the food conversion ratio is increased because they have enough oxygen, they are healthy, and they eat very well when you give them feed. And that means that they also grow very well. Because when your fish eat well, they grow well. Another advantage is that that oxygen that it has does not only help the fish alone. There are also living organisms in the pond, and the oxygen is helping them. And what is their purpose as well? Their purpose too is to break down the ammonia and the insoluble particles in your pond, break it down to useful for the fish again. So if they are also healthy because they have enough oxygen, they can work efficiently and then they get enough energy to break down such ammonia that is coming from the uneaten feed and their feces. So it helps them as well. And all this will contribute to the bigger growth of your fish. Another advantage is that this system can help you stock more fish because when the fish is more and they produce more waste, they easily contaminate the water bodies and they will not grow well. But if you have this system that adds oxygen into it, you can stock more fish. And if you stock more fish and they grow better or they grow very well, it means more money. So this system is also a very important one you have to have, especially if you are running this in combination with the recirculated aquatic system. It's going to help you tremendously. Now, so another advantage of the aeration system is that you don't have to constantly change your water because you change the water because of the dirt, because of the oxygen depletion, because when the water is dirty, the oxygen kind of reduce. But in this situation, once it is running, then the oxygen is being added, then you don't have to change the water, especially if you are also running it in collaboration with the recycled aquatic system. So this in subsequent videos we shall break down the aeration system, especially the mechanical one, in more details. But this is the information I have for you. If you have found value in this video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn on the notification button. Please, my name is Abdulaziz Issa, and this is Falco Aquaponics.